Let's bring in our expert panel now. Walid Phares, Newsmax foreign policy analyst, and also the author of Iran, an Imperialist Republic and U.S. Policy. Alongside him, Lisa Daftari, counterterrorism and foreign policy expert, editor-in-chief of the Foreign Desk, and host of the Foreign Desk podcast. Welcome into you both. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about Putin's comments here. And obviously, it was a rare sort of news conference. He was taking questions, kind of an interesting setup here. We know he's planning on staying in power for a long time here, Walid. What is your biggest read about his comments, no peace until the goals are achieved? That seems to be ominous.
Yes, I was about to say the key word is the Russian goals. There is no open statement, clear statement about these goals. In the beginning of the war, we all remember a couple of years ago, it was to grab all of Ukraine, go to the capital, Kiev, and then change the course of foreign policy in Ukraine. Well, that did not happen. And I don't think Russia, with all what it is trying to do now in the East and the West, can go back to the capital and then just, absorb Ukraine. That's not going to happen. The other thing is that it's going to be very difficult for the Ukrainian government at this point in time to take back all the lands where the Russians are sitting and occupying. So reality is that Mr. Putin has the control over the East and the South, but he doesn't have the recognition. He doesn't have the recognition of the UN or of the international community. So that way, if that is the goal, then NATO and EU can, in the other part of Ukraine, the larger part of Ukraine, start working with the Ukrainians for absorption.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of it. It's easier to grab than to get it back. Lisa, when you look at, Putin's media day, we also know that there is this access with China and Iran. And the longer that, Putin continues to hold this power and wield this, it's a fight against the West. And we also, of course, did not have any aid. The package did not pass here in the U.S. Because of the border security issues. It's been tied up as a result. And some say he was almost gloating. Putin was gloating in his message because he knew that.
Yeah, you know who else is gloating? Iran's regime, China. You look around the world, and there's a reason why Putin is standing at that podium, calling the shots, right? You look at the headlines. It's what Iran's regime wants. It's what Putin wants. It's what China is doing in our universities, regionally. This is a time for power grabs. I think people, or I should say dictators around the world, view the rest of the Biden's time in office as a free-for-all, a time where they can flex their muscles and get a lot done. The messaging coming from the White House is very, very important. And watching their aspirations come to fruition, actually, it's going to be very damaging, regardless of who comes into office in 2024 here in the United States. This is a very damaging policy. It's going to be very difficult to rein in once Biden is out of office.
Well, we have a little ways to go. Israel's in a full-blown conflict, as you know. Netanyahu's comments yesterday said that we are continuing until the end, until victory, until elimination of Hamas, even in the face of international pressure. He says nothing will stop us. Let us be no doubt on this matter. Jake Sullivan's over there. He was in Saudi meeting with MBS yesterday, as you guys both probably know. So here we are with they're basically saying we will eradicate Hamas. And that's that. I know, Walid, that there are implications, there are hostages. There's a lot of diplomacy here. And the UN just made it even more egregious, I think, with this vote for a ceasefire here and the pressure on Israel.
Well, the Israelis have actually no other strategic choice. What does it mean to have a ceasefire in the middle of this war and Hamas regroup, Hamas gets support, Hamas gets money and probably weapons from Iran and from the other actors in the region? That is not going to happen for the Israelis. They will dismantle Hamas on the one hand, but on the other hand, they need to think very clearly about after Hamas. And this is where the role of the Arabs, partners in the Abraham Accord, the role of the administration. I don't know what the administration is going to be doing between now and next year when its term will end, but this is what the strategy of the Israelis is. First, dismantle Hamas, then negotiate.
Well, we know the Saudis are no fans of the Houthis in Yemen, who fire over at them as well. And it sounds like the Saudis may actually be some players when it comes to the post-Israel-Hamas conflict as well. I got to leave it there. We got to go to the State Department. Lisa, Walid, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate the analysis from you both.
Thank you.